spending some time this afternoon with Chincoteague author Daniel P.T. Thomas. And as we mentioned earlier, Daniel grew up in North Wales, as he has quite an extensive knowledge of the royal family.
As a matter of fact, you probably already knew this, his father was once chaplain for Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Again, thank you for spending the afternoon with us. I'm going to put this down for now, as much as I love looking through your book. So, can you talk to us about the new royal baby, Archie, the seventh in line for the
seventh?
Yep, seventh. So, what's life going to be like for him?
I don't think it's going to be a huge difference in terms of the way the royals are brought up, except that he's coming into a situation where the royals are very modern now in terms of the way they present themselves to the public. So I think he's going to have opportunities that previous royal members, when they were young, didn't have. You know, he's going to meet his new cousins, you know, Prince George and Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, and I think they're going to grow up together. So they're all going to be part of this new persona to the public, which is going to be exciting actually, because you're already seeing, as we are on TV, Kate and William are very different from, you know, the way the Youngs would have been earlier on. And now with Meghan coming into the family, you've got a whole different approach too, which is much more modern and much more appealing, I think. So it's going to be exciting for him. I think he's going to be tuned in the traditional ways, but he's also going to have opportunities to present himself to the world in a different way, a new monarchy really.
I feel like the world has watched Prince Harry grow up, and you have too, so it's kind of neat to watch him as a dad. Yeah,
it's actually amusing, because people who are close to Harry would say you'd never see him as a dad, because he was always the rebel. You know, he was always out doing sometimes most inappropriate things, but he's really come on, and I think everybody has their favorite. You know, some people love William because he's a very different personality, and others like Harry because of his certain affiliations and what have you. And particularly with Meghan coming into the family, I think it's really exciting, because I think it makes him more of a father, and he loves that role, and they're very in tune together. Yeah. And they both believe in the same causes, so I think it's actually great.
We haven't seen Archie much, but Harry and Meghan are very hands-on parents.
Very hands-on, and recently I was hearing that they don't have a nanny, and
which is unusual.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. In the days when my father was serving, you know, you'd always, I think it was Olga, somebody or other, it was always sort of in the background, always available. And, you know, the nanny was, the baby was handed off to the nanny, and you'd always see the kids go to their first school with the nanny. And, but now it's very hands-on. And I don't truly know whether they really are hands-on, but I think they are. They're much more involved with their children. And as William said the other day, you know, welcome to the sleep deprivation lifestyle. Yeah. So let's hope that that's really what's happening. Yeah. It's great.
And as you mentioned, he's probably going to have a lot of play dates with his cousins, which is also unusual. So, you know, when a royal baby is born, it seems like the people of London, they really party. Yeah. That's a big deal. Can you give us some insight on that?
It's kind of funny, because when I was in my first book, I talked about the idea of the difference between Americans and Brits is that Americans know how to party, actually. I think Americans are great at it. July 4th coming up. Brits know the pomp and circumstance really well. They're very good at the sort of the protocol and the order of things. So for Brits to party a little bit in terms of the royals, they always will, because if you think about the way life's always been, the Brits have been sort of very ordered and appropriate, but when the royals have something happen, they go crazy. It's an opportunity to bring out the tea towels with George VI on, or Elizabeth, and I think it's a shedding of the daily life. It's like a chance to celebrate, and gosh, we have a monarchy, and how wonderful it is to have a monarchy and a history. And I think that's why Brits particularly are very proud of that, and it's something that very few countries still maintain. You know, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I tell you what, you had mentioned during the break that if we need a royal correspondent, you're our guy.
Could be.
Well, yeah.
We can't afford to like send you over to London on a regular basis.
It's kind of hard to keep in with everything that's going on there, especially when you're over here. Being on the island doesn't make it easy.
We need to put it in the budget.
Okay, we'll try to put it in the budget.
Put it in the budget, yeah.
Chincoteague author Daniel P.T. Thomas, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Yep.